Police doing a good job taking guns off the street. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. Two men have been arrested on reasonable suspicion of being in possession of a prohibited weapon after two firearms were seized at a house near Pineland in St. Andrew. The police carried out a raid in the community of Oakland in search of suspects on Saturday. On arrival at the house, a man was seen running away. The house was searched and two Taurus 9mm pistols and 20 rounds of ammunition were found in a bedroom. The police said a man matching the description of a suspect and another man were seen at the house. They were both taken into custody. A man has been charged with possession of a prohibited weapon and ammunition as well as 2 counts of shooting with intent following an incident on Murray Road, Queens Hill in St. Andrew on April 12. Charged is 21-year-old Alwyn Murray of Stock Farm in Stony Hill in St. Andrew. Reports from the Doheny Park Police are that about 5:20 a.m. a team went to a premises in the area and upon their arrival they saw a motor vehicle parked along the roadway. Checks were done and they discovered that the vehicle was stolen. Whilst awaiting a tow truck to remove the vehicle, a car then drove up with men aboard who opened gunfire at the police. The police pursued the men and the vehicle crashed into an embankment along the mentioned main road. Murray was taken from the vehicle and placed into custody. A security guard has been charged with robbery with aggravation, conspiracy and possession of a prohibited weapon following an incident in Manchester on March 7. Charges 32-year-old Christopher Lynn, otherwise called Red Bank, of Eden Street, New Green in the parish. Reports are that about 1 p.m., Lynn offered to transport a man who is known to him to a bank to complete a transaction. The man completed the transaction and left the establishment with Lynn, who then took him to Wint Road where they were pounced upon by 2 men who were armed with guns. Lynn and 2 accomplices proceeded to rob the man of his knapsack with cash, then rode off leaving the man. The man reported the incident to the police and an investigation was launched. On April 5th, Lynn was accosted by the police at a restaurant in Mandeville where he was searched and a prohibited weapon was found in his possession. The firearm was seized and he was arrested and taken into custody. He was positively identified by the man he had robbed and he was charged for the offense. A father who allegedly stabbed his 17-year-old daughter, Shadiq Calvert, to death has been charged with murder. Reports from the Elliston Road police are that about 1:10 a.m. a dispute developed between the father and his daughter on Saturday, February 4th. Reports are that a knife was used to inflict a wound to Shadiq's chest. She was taken to hospital where she died while receiving treatment. Mr. Calvert was arrested after he was taken to the hospital when he was found unconscious with his throat and both were slashed on Tuesday, April 4th. He was treated whilst under police guard and was subsequently charged after a question and answer session. 7 people were shot and wounded after gunmen fired on a bus in Spanish Town. The gunmen opened fire after a man they were chasing sought refuge inside the vehicle. The incident, which happened in the vicinity of Seaview Gardens, contributed to traffic congestion along Spanish Town Road. Investigators said a gang conflict in Seaview Gardens led to the shooting. One of the victims, a 13-year-old student, is in critical condition, and it's reported that about 2:30 in the afternoon, the bus stopped at the intersection of Spanish Town Road and the intersection of Seaview Gardens to pick up passengers when 2 armed men opened fire on a man who was about to enter the vehicle. Passengers who were entering the vehicle when 2 men on the outside fired several shots. They fired shots indiscriminately at persons inside the bus as well. On to sports. Jamaica Shericka Jackson, the reigning world champion in the 200 meters, set the fastest wind legal time in the women's 100 meters so far this year, clocking 10.82 at Velocity Fest 13 on Saturday night at the National Stadium. Jackson easily qualified for the final early in the day with a time of 11.05 and then outperformed the competition to beat the previous world leading time of 10.86, which is set by USA's world 6th place finisher Aaliyah Hobbs at the LSU Alumni Gold Meet hours earlier in Baton Rouge in Louisiana. Jackson's time also set a new meet record. In the final, her MVP teammates Natasha Morrison 11.09 and Anthony Strawn 11.11 of the Bahamas finished 2nd and 3rd respectively. Brianna Williams, who qualified for the final with a time of 11.34 after finishing 2nd in the 3rd heat, did not show up for the final. Meanwhile, in the men's 100 meters, Akeem Blake crossed the line first but was later disqualified. According to the official revised result, Blake was disqualified based on World Athletics Competition Rule TR 16.8, which pertains to false start. The rule reads that any athlete responsible for a false start shall be disqualified by the starter. Blake would enter the final with the fastest qualifying time of 9.99 seconds, appeared to have false started in the final although the starter did not call back the race. As a result, Blake's Racers Track Club teammate Zarnell Hughes of Great Britain was awarded the victory with a hand time 9.9 seconds. Cadrian Goldston and Julian Ford finished in a dead heat for second place, both with hand time 10 seconds flat. Question though is why did the false start gun not go off to stop the race and call back the runners to start over, which is the usual case. So that's very, very controversial right there. On to Premier League, Montego Bay United lost again to Harbourview 1-0, while Waterhouse clipped Cavalier 1-0, knocking them off the top spot. Portmore and Humber Lions played to a 1-1 draw, while Arnett Gardens beat Falkland to take over the top spot, beating Falkland 2-0, while Mullins United and Tivoli had a goal fest, with Mullins beating Tivoli 4-3. And the standings so far have Arnett Gardens back in the top spot on 49 points, Cavalier on 46 in second, Harbourview 43 in third, Mount Pleasant in fourth spot on 42, Humber Lions on 40 spot in 50, and Waterhouse on 40 as well in 6th place. And we'll have some more details for you tomorrow. That's news and sports on your favorite community radio. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.